Story time. How Avis let their employees steal from them and make me pay for it. So the story starts in around October 2024, after I had been renting a car from Hertz specifically to drive for Uber. That's another story of absolute ridiculousness, which I'll tell in another story time. But this one has to do with Avis. So I live in Las Vegas, where I'm a single mom, and anybody who knows Las Vegas, it's hot, it's spaced out, and you need a car to get around and do anything, especially if you're trying to maintain a job. So because I had lost my car, hard times, mate, hard times, lost my car, and so logic told me and because I couldn't afford another car, I could get $300-400 or what have you to rent a car from one of these renter companies, drive for Uber full time, and I'd still have a car to be able to run errands, get my kid to school, and all the things that need to be done on a daily basis. So after the whole Hertz fiasco, I stopped renting with them and found Avis. I was super happy because their prices were consistent. I knew how much I was paying every week. It's expensive, obviously, but when you have no other choice and your credit is with Satan himself, you know what's up. Anyway, so then I was I went and I started renting a car. It was great. I was paying on time. Every time that I pay with my debit card, I get a text message, got my records, everything. There was a point in early 2025 where I got really overwhelmed and I was unwell, so I had to return the car. And yeah, I was dealing with two ladies at the office. One is named Ari, who was the office manager. She was super cool, super honest. And then there's another one named Sydney, who is the problem. So anyway, now the first time I do it in January, I return the car and I deal with Ari, who's like, well, your account is in order, the car's in good condition, that's fine. Come back and see us when you're ready. So I'm like, great. I was able to get well, and then I came back like 3 days later to rent another car. And this, people, is when my problem started. So then I'm renting the car, doing exactly the same thing, paying by the week, blah, 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 blah. Then I start to get, it started off with getting a phone call from her, Avis, repossession. And I'm like, whoa, 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 excuse me now. Why am I being threatened with repossession when I paid the bill? So essentially, renting a car to drive for Uber, because it's an ongoing kind of agreement, it's almost like rent, right? So you pay ahead of time for the following week. So I'd already paid for that week, and I'm like, I don't understand what it is. So I give them a call and I speak to Sydney, the other girl at the office, and she was like, no, you're fine, you're all caught up, there's no reason why you should have gotten this call, ignore it. Of course, so I'm gonna trust her, so I ignore it. And then my account, which is a checking account, and I use a debit card to pay for the car rental, would start getting locked up during the day, no, during the week, sorry. Like there would be, let's say, a $380 something pending amount from Avis, meaning my account was in the negative, and then I couldn't pay bills, I couldn't put money in because it would pay off the pending amount before I was allowed an actual positive amount. So anyway, I went in and I complained, and I'm like, what is this? And they were like, well, it will fall off, but if you need some extra time, go ahead and take it. So I did that, and I would pay on a Sunday. I think my day to pay was I think it was Thursday, it was during the week. So I got the extra couple of days, and I'd come in on the Saturday to pay it. And this is when Sydney would be working. And so I pay it, go about my day, go about my week. And then for a couple of weeks, these pending charges kept coming up. And I'm like, this makes absolutely no sense, because I rented a car from Avis for weeks and I never come across this. So it got to the point where it was like every week my account was locked with pending transactions from Avis, and I couldn't use my account. So I went in on this Tuesday morning now, and I, of course, speak to Sydney, and I ask her, can I please, can she change the agreement, change the contract so that it shows that I'm current on my agreement payment, and then it can stop like charging my account and making it pending. And she goes, that's what happens when you pay by debit card. I'm thinking, bitch, that is not true, because first of all, I have been paying with my debit card this whole time and I've never had this problem. This problem started after somebody told somebody else that I was behind when I wasn't, and they tried to get it repossessed. And you were the one who sat there and told me to ignore it. But anyway, so of course, it starts to feel kind of a little bit fishy now, because she's telling me stories that I had not had the experience of. So I'm like, okay, this whole thing about Avis, all major banks will put a pending charge, and I'm thinking, not if there's funds, and every time that I pay for the car, the funds are taken out of my account immediately, and I get a text message from it. But she's obviously not listening to me. So, and she's like, oh, do you have an Uber Pro card? I'm like, no, I don't have an Uber Pro card. Can we please just deal with the matter at hand, which is Avis keeps taking money that is pending in my account, even though I've paid for it. And she goes, there's nothing I can do for you. So I'm frustrated now, and I'm like, okay, maybe it will fall off for the last time. So I leave, and then of course it doesn't fall off. It falls off, and then it happens again, like, and a couple of hours later. At this point, I'm pissed off. I'm frustrated because I'm making money, but I'm not able to use the money to pay bills, and I can't pay for things. I can't even get gas, for goodness sake. So 2 days after I'd gone to speak with Sydney, I go into the office again to return the car. So the whole plan was like, let me return this car, end this agreement, and then I can come back in a couple of days when everything's cleared out, and I can get another car. And so Sydney comes out from the back. At this point, I'm dealing with Ari, the office manager, who I'm cool with. She knows everything. I explained to her, but I know everything. I'd explained to her that, look, this is messing up my account. I need to end this contract and start anew, because clearly something went wrong here and I can't be dealing with things this way. So she like checks me out, takes the car back into the possession, and she goes, your account is clear, you're all set, come back and see us when you are ready. And I'm like, perfect, because I'm coming back on Monday. Now, Sydney now, the one that I had been dealing with, comes out from the back, and you should have seen this girl's face, child. I am a tarot reader, so I tune into energy. I'm like, you done did some shit. This is you. You did this. This is why I'm here. So anyway, she kind of comes over and acts like nothing's wrong, blah, blah, blah. And then the office manager sends me on my way. She's like, you're all set. Come back and see us when you're done. So I go, and I'm like, okay, that was fine. Perfect. I'm going to be back on Monday and have a